Nation of Fit and 10, welcome to day 27. Scans wrapped up today. I'm still missing a ton of people. Well, not a ton, but a decent amount. I know I'm going to see some of you on Saturday, but there's a bunch of you that there's about 5 of you I emailed and want to know where you are because you're supposed to have your second scan and it's still really early in the challenge. And I want to remind you, even if you didn't think you did well, you may be wrong. You may be wrong. And I'll talk about this in a second here. I will tell you that, and this is not the first time I've seen this, obviously I see this frequently. Perfect example of this. Gentleman in the challenge comes in for a scan. Body weight, no different. Body weight is the same as when he started. And this person lost 9.5 pounds of fat. 9.5 pounds of fat. So we'll talk about why this is a little bit, or in a little bit, I should say. I want to remind you, I talked about this yesterday, really, really important. Move in the day. Move in the day. Again, being active doesn't mean doing a fitness class, 3 days a week, or doing specifically exercise for a limited period of time, even every day. Part of being active is getting out and just moving, okay? So going for your walks, getting in your steps, even just doing general chores around the house, being active, movement, not sitting in one spot for God knows how long, okay? All right, so how can this be? How can somebody lose, nearly 10 pounds of fat and their weight doesn't change? What's going on here? All right, well, this is obviously a more extreme example. You could be somebody in the challenge who, for example, their goal is to lose 3 or 4 pounds. This is a common goal out there for a lot of you. And so you may not see this loss in body weight, but remember, trying to lose body fat, right? This is why we're doing this scan. This is why we're not weighing you. We're doing the body fat scan to see how much fat you've lost. Because at the end of the day, this is what we care about. We don't care so much about weight. Now, obviously, if you lose enough fat, you're going to start to drop in weight. But there's a number of things that will influence your body weight, including things like your total lean body mass and water. Well, water is part of lean body mass, but more specifically, when we talk about lean body mass, really I'm talking about like bone and muscle and other connective tissue, organs. But really, and this will contribute to your body weight, obviously, but what will contribute more to your body weight is fluid redistribution / holding in the body. This is normal and is influenced by a host of things. I'm going to say it again. Fluid distribution, fluid holding, muscles having more fluid some days than other days, potentially holding water underneath the skin or other areas of your body. This is normal and it's influenced on many, many things, including, and this is not an exhaustive list, including your water intake, obviously. Periods of both physical and mental stress. So let me give you an example. Let's talk physical stress. If you work out, let's say you work out your legs, you do a hard leg workout, you do enough volume, all right? You do a regular leg workout on our lift camp, let's just say. The next day, your scan will show your muscle mass in your legs as less. It will show as less. If you worked out reasonably hard, you're going to show as less. Why? Because you burnt through a lot of muscle glycogen. You use that muscle glycogen, and that glycogen restoration takes several days. It takes several days for that water to build back up in the muscle. Okay, and that's just one example. What would be another example? If you happen to increase your sodium intake or your carbohydrate intake, let's say, it's very possible for you to hold more water in the muscle and outside the muscle. Okay? Hormones play a role in this. This is why we don't typically do your scan if it's that time of the month for you. Obviously, I'm talking about females here. If it's that time of the month for you, you're going to hold more water. Your weight's going to be up. This will not affect your fat reading, however. Sodium intake, I just talked about that. Where more solute goes, so sodium is the solute, where more solute goes, water goes with it. Okay, generally speaking, in the body. So if you have, for example, let's use an example here. If you follow a low sodium diet, which I don't recommend you do, that's another topic I'll get into. But let's just say you follow a low sodium diet and one day you have a moderate level of sodium, not even a high level, just a moderate level of sodium. Because you're so used to low sodium, your body's going to hold that sodium more. And if it holds the sodium, it's going to hold water with it. Length of sleep. If you ever want to weigh less, if you ever want to see your scale show you as weighing less, sleep a very long period of time. Just sleep. If you ever have a day where you sleep like 12 hours, get up and weigh yourself. I guarantee you're going to weigh lower than what you typically do. Okay, likewise, if you don't get enough sleep or you have a very broken sleep, you're going to hold more water. Exercise, I just talked about that. Now, obviously we could lose water through the physical, the doing of exercise, right? The perspiring, even just breathing, you're losing some fluid. I talked about losing glycogen in the muscle from exercising, and likewise, if you didn't exercise, you'll probably hold more water in the muscle. Okay, so your muscle mass, that means your muscle mass will show us higher. All right, this is why typically we don't like to do the scan around exercise, like even 24, 48 hours, because we tend to see a little bit of a drop in muscle mass, not muscle tissue, muscle mass, because we lose water. Carbohydrate intake, I already talked about that. Carbohydrates, for every gram of carbohydrates that your liver, or for every gram of carbohydrate that your muscle store, I don't know if this applies to liver, but your liver does store glycogen. It's going to pull about 3 times the amount of water in. So if you ever do a carbohydrate load, like when would you carbohydrate load? Well, like maybe if you're going to do like a marathon or something, maybe you carbohydrate load, or maybe just carbohydrate loaded because you just wanted to eat a lot of food. Okay, your weight's going to go up. That's not because you put on fat per se, although you may have. That's more fluid holding in the body. Okay, medications. Some medications will cause water retention. Also, some medications will elevate your hunger, but specifically I'm talking about water redistribution here. Some medications will do this. Okay, prednisone is one of those medications, and there's several others. Okay, and there's other things that will contribute to holding water. So your water, body water is going to go up and down. We are somewhere around 65%, 70% water. Our bodies are. Our muscles are like 80% water. We are a lot of water. So if we're a lot of water, we can't expect that to be static. This is something that goes up and down, just like muscle building and muscle degradation. It's always fighting each other, and same with fat loss and fat gain, always fighting each other every day. Okay, we'll talk about more of that in the future. All right, message of the day. Already 9 minutes almost. Wow. How do I talk for so long? And I feel like I'm talking so fast. Where is my message of the day? Message of the day on this day 27. Here are my 5 P's for success. Maybe you can think of other P's as well, but these are my 5 P's. Practice. So practice what you're doing. Right? Practice is part of getting better. Practice is part of that process of getting better. You've got to practice all the pillars of this challenge. You've got to promote yourself. You've got to feed yourself positive vibes. You've got to up-talk yourself, so to speak. You've got to have a positive outlook, which is point number 3 here, third P. A positive outlook. But you need to self-promote as well, not self-degrade. Perseverance. You've got to keep persevering. And probably the hardest one here, patience. It's all about patience. Somebody came in and saw me today, and they said that they just didn't see enough results in, I think it was the first 8 days. So I don't know how you know what your results are without having your scan. You can't measure results in a short period of time, especially 8 days, all right? But I know what happened. This person decided to weigh themselves, which is one reason why I talked about that today. Do not weigh yourself. Weight does not tell you what's going on. Weight does not tell you what's going on, okay? Likewise, if you lose weight, doesn't mean you lost fat. You may be in a worse position if you lose weight. So again, 5 P's for 5 P's that I want you to practice to be successful. Practice, just fit right in there. Practice, promote, patience, perseverance, and positivity, okay? Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself for the love of God. Give some gratitude, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.